The long summer break is over. It's time for Formula 1 to get back going with the Belgium Grand Prix. It's the 14th stop on the 2022 calendar, a calendar that's been dominated by one and only Max Verstappen. But coming into the next three races, a triple header as well, it could turn the balance. It's Belgium this weekend before going off to the Netherlands, Verstappen's home race, and then off to Ferrari's home race at Monza in Italy. Then, after a 2-week break, we're in Singapore for the longest race of the season, always hits 2 hours. Then, a week later, it's Japan as well. Then 2 weeks off before United States and Mexico form a double-header. Another break before Sao Paulo on the 13th of November, and the season rounds out in the 20th of November in Abu Dhabi. Max Verstappen leads the Drivers' Championship then on 80 points after spinning and winning last time out in Budapest. Charles Leclerc is second, he's only 80 points back, that's an astonishing gap. Sergio Perez is third, 85 points back from Verstappen, they're the three mathematically in the hunt for the title. George Russell 2 points clear of Carlos Sainz as well. Lewis Hamilton is 10 further back in 6th place, his worst season in F1 history. Lando Norris is 7th in a battle with Esteban Ocon and Valtteri Bottas. Fernando Alonso rounds out the top 10. Kevin Magnussen has 22 points in 11th ahead of Danny Ricardo, who is just clear of Pierre Gasly, who's now level on points with Sebastian Vettel. Mick Schumacher is a point clear to Yuki Tsunoda, Zhou Guanyu has 5, Lance Stroll 4, Alexander Albon the last driver with points in 3, Nicholas Latifi still pointless this season, and Nico Hülkenberg only did 2 races right at the start of the year. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way on 431 points. Ferrari and Mercedes are still on 330s and they are battling each other. Then we get Alpine in 4th, McLaren 5th, they're quite close together. Alfa Romeo in a battle with Haas, but who are mainly in a battle with AlphaTauri. Aston Martin close behind them and Williams still have 3 points. It's time for first practice from the Circuit du Spa-Francorchamps here in Belgium. Let's take a look around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. 7 kilometres long, 19 turns with 9 to the left and 10 to the right. 2 DRS detection zones. It is the highest and longest track of the year. Starting a lap then on board with one of the McLarens. Downhill towards turn 1, the La Source hairpin. Down to second gear, 95 kilometres an hour. Control the exit, don't put too many wheels wide as you head down the National Straight. Coming in to the Red Water Eau Rouge. Flat out, 8th gear to 315 as you climb the hill to the top of Radillon and come down the Camel Straight, 8th gear, 325 kilometres an hour. You're flat out with the DRS as you drop down all the way to the Lacombe chicane, 4th gear, 180. Rise that up as you come into Malmedy now in 6th gear and 235 kilometres. Drop down towards Ravage, down to 4th gear, 140 kilometres. Drop down to 3rd if the track grip hasn't got it as you come into Speaker's Corner through turn 9. Flat out then towards Puong at turns 10 and 11. Flat out, 8th gear usually at 290 kilometres an hour at the exit as you rise up towards the Fagnes chicane. Drop all the way down, 5th gear, 175 kilometres an hour as you brave your way through to Stavelot. Down, 6th gear, down to 4th gear at the exit. Curve de Port Frere, you're in 7th gear at 295 kilometres an hour as you rise up, 310, 325 kilometres an hour as you blast through turn 16, the first part of the fearsome Blanchimont now, flat out if you dare, before you come into the modified bus stop chicane all the way down to, once again, 2nd gear, just 110 kilometres an hour. Ride the curbs, control the exit, fire it to the line, and that is a lap of Spa-Francorchamps. Oh, it was just a midsummer's night dream. 3 weeks fly away. Welcome back to Formula 1 action. And we're at the Circuit du Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. And round 14 of the 2022 season sees Max Verstappen enter here with an 80-point advantage in the World Championship. And Spa this year looks a little bit different, more akin to what we are used to. The 7-kilometre track, the longest track on the Formula One calendar as well, has over 1 minute 41 second lap time, 18 turns, and some of the most really bizarre names on the Formula One calendar as well. But it is wet weather once again. Not like what we saw back in 2021 though. It's a lot better than what we're seeing now as well. And if you wanted to, you can pass me them. Intermediates and wets on the blue and green is what we're going to be needing as well. But oh, he's disappeared apparently. But it's wet weather, and alongside me in the commentary box is, oh well, Mum's putting them on first, is Josh Plays and Richie. You might be able to notice as well in the background, we've got track noise, but are you on holiday? Thank you. Gentlemen as well, we may as well take off the normal glasses because it's still the sunny pink weather up here in the comms box. How are you both doing?
I'm very good. Excited to be back after the summer break. It's been too long for me, at least. 4 weeks too long. And
this is from your 60th birthday party, which is happy birthday for you a few days ago. We already said that when it was on as well. You definitely don't look it, and nobody says that. You can go now. Anyway, hi Josh, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing good, and I hope everyone is doing well at all. And am I dreaming? It's free practice 1 and not free practice 2, and I'm here. Something's not right.
Oh, right.
Surely.
It's not, is it? Pocket jacket upstairs on the bed. There you go. Mum's after my sunglasses because she's broke hers. But look at this as well. Brand new track features as well with runoff areas. Brand new and evolved as well. Gravel track that is bitey. It really is quite hard as well, gravel. And if you go off there, you're likely to get a puncture as well. So the start, guys, is going to be really fantastic when we come into it tomorrow on Sunday. And there's the new Eau Rouge as well, where gravel track's been added. And as well, you might notice that the old grandstand's gone. That's because flooding at the start of the year, I mean, it had to be demolished. They're rebuilding it. But we've got a brand new state-of-the-art grandstand at Eau Rouge. This track looks fantastic, guys.
It does, yeah. I like the red and the yellow markings on the track as well. The Eau Rouge already on. It's very, very nice.
Well, we are trying, as you can see, to get our brand new live timing operational, which has got all the access to the battle cameras and everything as well. But it is a little bit of an issue. This is down at the Yock and Rink corner, or Speaker's corner as well. We're on the original layout, which goes around the inside. On the inside of the track has been added a new MotoGP section as well. They try and bring it back in as well. And that's what we get when we try and load in the driver tracker as well, which is, sorry, not working. But it is raining ever so slightly out there as well, which means it's going to be a little bit difficult to set some competitive lap times. A 60% chance of rain has come up, though, throughout this weekend. But the race on Sunday, Josh, is going to be dry, so no more having to feel like we did a year ago.
I wasn't in the team then, but that was a killer. I would have probably not wanted to be in that commentary box that day, but breaking news, well, not so breaking news. Daniel Ricardo is leaving McLaren at the end of the season, rumoured to go to Alpine, and Oscar Piastri, the end of the Oscar Piastri drama, rumoured to go into McLaren.
Well, you may say it's the end, but there's several people that are saying it's not going to end there, and it could increase. And we've got the contract recognition board on Monday to try and establish where exactly Oscar Piastri is meant to be. So everything's sort of going completely up in the air, and nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. But the session is about to get underway because it's green lights, and away we go at the end of the pit lane. The session is now go. So the first one back from the summer break is underway as cars are heading out to the track, and you can hear as well the car noises in the background, all looking good. And Richie as well, this circuit, oh, he's disappeared. I don't know why he's gone. Josh, I'll ask you then as well. This track as well, such a fantastic circuit as well. Cars heading out there, are you looking forward to it?
I really, really am. But with all of these improvements that they've done over the last 12 months, and if this is the last Belgium Grand Prix, I do not know where Formula One will go. And look at that, old Lewis 44.
Yeah, the old style one.
Yeah, the old style. And that will be quite easy to tell George Russell and Lewis Hamilton separated this weekend. But there is Lewis Hamilton, Sir Lewis Hamilton should be saying, there is teammate George Russell out on track.
And it looks like he's out on the intermediate tyres as well. As you can hear the car noises in the background for the first time as well as all the timers getting ready. Liam Lawson is taking part in this session as well. He's in down at, I think, Haas for this eventuality as well. I'd love to tell you more about it.
I believe
Go on.
it's Gasly and AlphaTauri.
So Gasly and AlphaTauri, very nice as they come back through. We've got our onboard mix hopefully
And
working eventually.
Albon saying it's completely dry.
Oh, so Albon saying it's completely dry out there. We have not got access to anything at the moment. We're desperately trying as well to bring you everything, but all our team radios seems to be going wrong. Ah, there we go. There's our data screen that we needed open as well. Up in the comms box, and our timing screen has yet to come on, but there you can see, look, pit control is open as Josh has opened up his telemetry cameras as well. Just need to get that open actually, if I can find out where it was, because it
There is Liam Lawson in the AlphaTauri.
Liam Lawson.
Number 10 becomes number 40.
There we go. Race control messages are open temporarily on the different ones. Liam Lawson, back in 2022, he was second for in F2. He's in Carling as well. He finished in 8th position, so looking to be a little bit ecstatic about this one, as everything seems to be going okay. Let us know what you think of the audio. And Sebastian Vettel, the driver, is retiring from Formula 1 now, comes out onto the circuit as well in the Aston Martin. Looks like he's having an okay one. It's so weird seeing it come out there to what is effectively marshland now, coming out of Eau Rouge because of that flooding we had, and they've extended the runoff coming into Eau Rouge as well. The track just looks completely different up here.
It really, really does. And if we see Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo leave Formula 1 in the same year, I do not know what we will do.
I really don't, and I'm really hoping he gets through.
That. If we see Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo and the Belgium Grand Prix leave all in the same year, what will we do?
I have no idea. Oh, Richie says his PC has died. I'll try and get back in soon. No worries, Richie. As well, that's terrible. There is Daniel Ricciardo. I hope he doesn't leave Formula 1. There's a rumour that he's going to Haas. There's a rumour he's going back to Alpine. I asked Megan this question as well. I don't think he's going to go back to Alpine because of all the history there.
That would be funny. That would be quite funny.
I don't think he'll go to Haas either. Which do you think? Because he's sort of been pushed right into the side blocks, hasn't he? He's got nowhere else to go.
He really, really has. And there's a couple of options, but I think despite all the history, where he'll most likely end up will be Alpine. Yeah. If not, there is a spare seat in the F1 graveyard, which is Formula E.
Yes.
With McLaren.
There's Nicholas Latifi with the improved Williams. Oh, and something flying off the back of his car already. Looks like a bit of winglet damage as well. Just coming off the back and lying itself down on the Campbell Straight and being run over, actually, by Carlos Sainz as well. So not great there as they come through. Adam says, thoughts on Audi entering Formula 1 in 2026 as an engine supplier? I think it's absolutely fantastic that he's coming in as an engine supplier, and it's going to be with Alfa Romeo, who are leaving Formula 1 and becoming Sauber once again. So it looks like they're going to lose the Ferrari engines that they've had for several years since 2010 and go back to a German manufacturer for the first time since 2009. SHT says, hey guys, man, this weekend is going to be very interesting with both Leclerc and Verstappen to take grid penalties and start from the back of the grid. Yeah, it's been confirmed that Verstappen's got a grid penalty. We understand that Leclerc does too, but nothing has come up on the monitor just yet about all this as well. Fernando Alonso and Mick Schumacher on the circuit as well. Sainz is setting lap times, but hopefully everyone's enjoying the audio. We've managed to separate the commentary from the pure track feed, which means that we get a little bit more added mention to the commentary and hear the cars going around the circuit. I'm really excited. It's the first time I've commentated with pure car noises in my ears before as well, because usually we hear the Sky commentary on the background. So, and it's very distracting, so there's less voices in my head for once. But here comes Lewis Hamilton then, just circulating out on the circuit, coming into the bus stop chicane as well. It looks like he's on a set of intermediate compound tyres right there, but I reckon he'll box, yep, he's coming in now, and he'll change them over to another set of tyres as well, probably some dries because it was raining at the start of the Formula 2 practice session. Then we had a little bit of rain towards the end, but mainly it's completely dry out here on the circuit as well. Car development so far this year, Ferrari is still the fastest, Red Bull have only gained a thousandth of a second, Mercedes have gained 3/10, McLaren have gained 4.5 tenths, Alpine have lost a tenth and a bit, Haas have gained 2.5 tenths, Alfa Romeo have lost 2 tenths, the same as Alfa Tauri. Aston Martin in the biggest improvements, they've gained 4 tenths as well, 0.47 tenths. McLaren also gaining 0.48, the graphics updated, and Williams have gained 0.23 percentage as well. And let me ask Josh as well, have you got your, as I think you're adjusting something up in your combox area, has your live timing come on yet with the driver tracker? Because I know it's the first race back, but at least we've got some track noise to talk about so that nobody's a little bit bored out there today.
Just refresh it and it's loading. Nope, not working.
Replay with Carlos Sainz now. Onboard driver's eye into La Source. Turns it in, looks okay on the exit. Gets a big wiggle on as well. And Paul di Resta is down in pit lane.
Wing mirror on what you call it, but if you look at these wing mirrors, the size of them, it looks like they've taken them off like a C-class on their road car. I'm not sure what that's about, whether that's an efficiency thing or that's just a test ahead of something they're going to bring later on, or even looking into next year. Obviously it's a fundamental part of the car and you can use it to gain some downforce. You can see lots of fences underneath it where it is, but I think the biggest thing I've been looking for is this new directive coming in to do with floors this weekend. So we can see the front of the chin, obviously, that is highly regulated. There's either a damper or a spring in there. The FIA have seen all that data, but obviously it's further back. There's been some question marks about some teams that have been exploiting how much the floor moves when the car's actually porpoising. So they've been able to cushion that and essentially run the car a bit lower from the back on, and that kind of acts as a shocker when they're going through the high-speed corners low, when the car's low in the ground, and kind of getting the efficiency from that, where opposed to someone like Mercedes or someone who's experienced more bouncing, they've probably been skipping across it. Nobody's been caught to do anything wrong, but obviously they've brought this in. And what they're also going to do is, on the plank, they've always had to have a minimum thickness at the end of the race, but as long as one of those points within the guidelines you passed, you got away with it. Now they're much more firmer on that, and they want more consistency over the course of that to actually see if the car is dragging on the ground or not. There's going to be a lot of chat, and I think the biggest thing, if you're looking from the naked eye, what you're going to see is there going to be some cars porpoising more and have to lift the ride height as a consequence? Is it going to come into this Grand Prix? Is it going to be further down the line? But Mercedes feeling it should bring them a lot closer. Obviously cooler conditions for them, that's not something that's normally ideal either in that sense, but we'll see how the weekend develops. I'm going to keep going up and down the pit lane because I want to see some evidence of somebody that's changed something, but it's firmly buried in the car and it's hard to see.
Thanks, Paul. Down there in the pit lane, no Ted Kravitz this weekend as well, which is why he's going through as Nicholas Latifi leaving the pit lane with some aero wake. Here's Verstappen's radio. Oh!
The mechanic just released him.
Copy.
And Nicholas Latifi getting sent right into the path of Max Verstappen, and Verstappen almost running right into the back of him, Josh. That's almost a nightmare situation already.
That really was, and from that off-board angle, it looked like Max Verstappen was going racing line speed down the pit lane, so might have to have a look at that. That might have been a little bit of speeding in the pit lane, but here is Liam Lawson on a flying lap, and as that is fastest sector 2, 47.662 goes to Leclerc. And in a Formula 1 car, they go around 75 miles per hour. For me, in my beautiful game, which you saw on the Mammoth, was the Indy car, and let's just say I can only manage 45.
That's not bad though, that's very much decent, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of that as well coming through in the next one. And I thought it was only Leclerc. Does Little Owl know that you're not supposed to reply there? The race control. I know. As they come through, driver track is still working in thing. One ball with Liam Lawson in the Alpha Tauri, as Josh said a second ago, as they come back through into Blanchimont, flat out as well. Camera cuts off and is swinging by, and behind him as well is
that was
George Russell. Go on, Josh.
That was for the main Formula 1 chapter.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. What do you think then, Josh? car noises in our ears. It's quite weird, to be fair. It's really bizarre.
It is very, very weird, but yeah, for some reason, I've tested it on another account, and people can still chat in Race Control if they wanted to.
Oh, nice.
Oh my goodness.
What have you found out, Josh?
I just was about to send it. I'll send it on here. Pit lane incident involving cars 1 and 6. Noted for unsafe noises, I said, not unsafe release.
That's because I was talking over it, yeah, I know what you mean. Max Verstappen then coming through, 1.8 seconds up already, fastest second sector compared to Lando Norris, who's done a 1:49.712. But I think Verstappen was held up a little bit there by one of the AlphaTauris as they come through into the braking zone for the bus stop for Max Verstappen. Hard on the brakes, flicks the car in, left, right, back on the power towards the line. And what's the time then? For Max Verstappen, it's a 1:47.456. Australia now saying, where are the engine noises coming from? The boffins have found a way to separate the commentary and the world feed audio via a simple cable. Do you want to know how much it was? Here's the backup simple cable. It is literally that simple. Into the bus mixer, and we get pure track noise. It's taken us 5 years to realise that. But this is the session track noises that you're hearing. So anything that we hear, you're hearing as well in the background. So we've actually got noises. Should make it easy for you to sync up. And Josh, look already, the wooden planks are putting sparks and lines all the way up through Eau Rouge as well. And it's just terrifying to see that happening.
And that is a beautiful, beautiful runoff that we are on board with Bottas. I like what Alfa Romeo have done. And they've put the 3 letters, so Bottas, BOT or ZO with CHO on the gloves. It makes it really easy.
We just had some driver's eye from Carlos Sainz's camera angle on board on F1 TV now that we've got that access up in the comms box as well. And we've got the live driver tracker, and we've got everything now. Now that the iPad can move around a bit more, it's a lot easier to do things. There's now on board with Max Verstappen, who's actually crawling up the hill through Eau Rouge and into Radion. So a little bit weird there as Charles Leclerc is coming into the last few corners now to do some fastest times. He's 6th at the moment on a 150.722. Let's see where Leclerc will jump to as he comes across the line. Is it a faster time than what we were predicting? He goes 4th, 150.201 as well, and the track's still drying out from what we've seen, so we're expecting the lap times here are right about well, the last year's pole time was a 1:59, we don't count that. The lap record here is a 1:46 set in the race, and the overall fast ever lap time is a 1:21. So we're expecting that to come down later on. There's the new Eau Rouge grandstand as well, and Hart Leclerc fans coming in there as well, and that new grandstand is the place to be. I really want to be there as this is Leclerc going off the track a little bit, Josh. Down in turn 14, it's Tavolo.
That was a massive bit of dust kicked up, and I've not done that yet.
Hazel Southwell's just tweeted, for a sport where you have to pay a subscription for the full live timing, F1 has found some of Radio Rock on.
I have a problem, guys. Yeah, the car's pulling. I think gearbox or diff.
Let's try and bring the car back slowly, please.
And that's Esteban Ocon with a problem, but it's just been announced that it's engine penalties for Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon and Valtteri Bottas. But Esteban Ocon then says the car is crabbing and he's the one who's taking a grid penalty in this race. So both the championship leaders starting towards the back with penalties come Sunday's race. A big advantage now for either Carlos Sainz, either for Sergio Perez or mainly Josh's other 2 Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, as it's Esteban Ocon with the car crabbing to the right on board.
Yeah, clown Ferrari. We're at it again.
Yeah, not good, is it? You don't take a penalty on the weekend where one of your main championship rivals take a penalty. You take it the next weekend so that you try and get as many points as possible. But Esteban Ocon's car crabbing as he comes into the pit lane as well. Sergio Perez goes second on the hard tyres at 149.136. Not bad. I think
Leclerc, Verstappen, Norris, Ocon. Any more?
Yeah, apparently the F1 timing is broken completely. B says, is anyone having trouble with the live timing? The website keeps saying something not working as well. Let's go down to pit lane, Paul's there.
Or anything like that puncture, but there's nothing alarming going on. I'm sure there'll be a lot of attention going back to that rear corner now, whether they're going to get on top of it. But I'll keep my eyes down here for a little while just to see what's going on, whether it is going to be mechanical or they're going to get him back out on track.
Thank you very much, Paul De Resta.
Old version is working, by the way.
Say again, Josh?
The old timing version is working, by the way.
Yeah, but no driver tracker.
Which is unfortunate.
Honestly, they really need to get this fixed. It's a bit poor, very poor, in fact, as well. That's not working. We don't have a driver track in this first session, but you watch, it'll work in FP2, right when we don't need it.
It will.
Yeah, when we don't need it, it'll work. Schumacher's name is missing, but has to change his engine tomorrow. So it's been rumoured that also Mick Schumacher is going to change his engine as well. Look, this is Verstappen. This is what I was talking about. Look, he's crabbing and going very slow all the way down through a Rouge. Did this on the previous lap time, but this is dangerous. You're not allowed to go this slow coming through a Rouge. It's actually banned in the race director's driver's notes because it's so dangerous. Because you can just have a massive accident. And Bottas, who's got a new engine, they're just changing that down in the pit lane as well. He's got no time set at the moment. So everything going a little bit weird this weekend as well. Yeah, Mercedes running the retro livery. As here comes Zhou Guan Yu across the line. And into turn number 1 as well. Let us know if those radio noises of the cars are coming through quite clear. This is the first time we've actually tried to test it live. So we need to know if it's loud enough, it's not loud enough as well. What we're really looking forward to, I'm sure you all are, is the race starts. And we get to do Formula 3 tomorrow to do that. And Bottas, Josh, climbing out of the car already and not looking too happy that this is taking longer than predicted.
Yeah, already 18 minutes into the session and counting as Leclerc goes to the top, 149.017.
Think about a different helmet, because my helmet's lifting up a lot on the straight.
Yeah, you don't.
Sorry, maybe I should put on mute my mic. At least there's not dead air there as well. What did you say, Josh, about Leclerc? Did you go second, did you say?
Yes, second with a 140 timings. Load up, please. Here we are, 149.017.
Very much is like the first day of school once again as they come through.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul?
Some kind of issue there, so they're trying to fix it, whether it's just something that's fallen out. I can't quite get close enough. But they're certainly keeping Esteban in there, and they've told him to stay in the car, so expect to see him back out if they get this resolved.
Great.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, thanks, Paul, as well. Just got to make sure that the audio is always unmuted now. All new things. Here comes Sergio Perez then, through the curve to Paul Freire. Fifth at the moment. He's done a he's done 2:20s last lap time as well. And we can't tell what his fastest lap time is. No, we can't actually, because the timers aren't showing it. As actually, Sky have just gone to an ad break, which means we don't have any track noises at the moment. But I'd just like to point out, we will do, because we've got the multi-screen and we've got the ability to splice that in as well. So during the practice sessions, there's never 3 commentators, so there's always room to do it. So while we just load that up for you, you'll be able to hear it in just a few seconds.
What are the FIA doing?
Why? What's happened? What's happened? What are you saying?
Verstappen and Latifi. No further investigation. What are the FIA doing?
They're not investigating it.
Yeah, it has been reviewed and no further investigation.
I can't believe that. There we go. There's nobody touched the lead and that audio stays. So they're not investigating it so they're not doing anything. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous then. Sergio Perez comes out the last corner, heads towards the line, goes second fastest. 474 as it comes through as well. At the moment as he enters the La Source hairpin. We're now about 50 seconds behind the TV pictures while we just get ready for this. But at least we can always bring you something, and that's why we've gone to the battle camera at the moment. Because Sky are on an outbreak, and it's better to show you more stuff than what we actually have. As we're on board now with the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc coming into the bus stop.
Get rid of the new parts of the seat.
Copy, will do.
Get rid of the new parts on the seat. Yeah. Pit lane incident reviewed between Verstappen and Latifi. No further action for the unsafe release. Now, let's talk about Erlen, Josh. That is the FIA being a bit blind, considering the fact that that was clearly an unsafe release, and that could have really compromised Max Verstappen if he'd done right into the back of him. What's your take on that?
Yeah, that's very stupid,
Yeah.
I think. And where is... Hang on a minute. VAR.
Yeah, where's that VAR system as well that they were talking about? That hasn't turned up. Lando Norris on board with now, just locking up, coming into the bus stop chicane. And of course, this time last year, he had a really horrible accident coming through Eau Rouge as well in the wet. The car span him around and whacked into the wall. It was a 75G impact as well. And it was actually his crash at Eau Rouge and the crash in the W Series. And of course, Antoine Hubert's crash in Formula 2 back in 2019 that has prompted the changes to Eau Rouge. It's a partial fix to the problem, but you can never make that corner 100% safe because it's just never going to be 100% safe. You can't make any track 100% safe. As Joe Bauer walks through, leaving Formula 1, of course, at the end of the year, Joe. Dude, I'm going to be sad to see him go. He's one of the fun old-timers in Formula 1 as well. As apparently, Josh, if you turn your internet browser off and restart it, like I'm using Google Chrome, it might let you back in again. So it might actually load in. Adam says, could we see Danny Rick behind the wheel of the number 91 for Project 91 Team Trackhouse in the NASCAR Cup Series next year? I'll tell you this right now as well. Judging from what I've seen as well on this whole situation, Leclerc radio.
Prepare to get rid of the new parts of the seat.
Yes, that's Leclerc's radio as well, as it's just coming through and taking its sweet time about it. But Tsunoda.
Charles Leclerc not happy with.
I think it's front rear locking.
Front rear locking, he's saying, apparently, is cause of the reason. As that is Esteban Ocon getting out of the car. We're seeing at the moment up here as we're back with live TV pictures. But yeah, could we see Danny Rick behind the wheel of the number 91 for Project 91 Team Trackhouse? I really think we could, to be fair. And Josh, I know you've been watching the NASCAR. You probably saw Kimmy's as well, as I was broadcasting some of it as well.
But Kimmy.
I know. But what did you think of it as well? I thought it was a great debut, and the Project 91 seems to be a great initiative to bring the drivers in. And I think if Danny Rick can't race next season, I think he'll definitely go and do a race in the NASCAR Cup, because why wouldn't you? Why I would do that.
Yeah, I think so. As Hamilton goes second, 148.420, and imagine seeing Lewis Hamilton in a NASCAR Cup for a one-off.
If that happens, I would honestly panic. He could probably do a race before the F1 season started, though, because NASCAR started in February, and and we got pre-season testing, yes, but we could see Lewis doing a race, maybe the race after Daytona, which I believe is it Phoenix? I can't remember. Go on.
Or a bowling ball into into a NASCAR Cup Series race in the name of Nicholas Latifi.
That could happen. Paul di Resta down in Ferrari.
How small F1 drivers are and the Rancho when they fit in the car. You see the frame of the body, but I guess he's gone back to something he knows. And, whether he's put a bit of weight on over the summer break or whether it's just a case of he wants to set a bit higher, I don't know. I'll leave everybody to think about that. But Charles has taken his helmet off, so he's gone to the back, but I'm sure he'll be back in the car and ready to go soon.
Thank you very much, Paul di Resta. So this is Lewis Hamilton we're seeing a replay of now as well, down into the bus stop chicane, and just looks like he's having a few moments out there as well, as the field continued to go through. Just love listening to the cars. There's the 44. Originally, we were told that it was going to have the pig livery, which is the front was all going to be red. So, like the red pig as well, back in the 50s as well. That's not going to happen because Ferrari actually said, we're not letting you run a car that's red, same colour as our car. Mercedes said, no, we were never going to do it. It's an exhibit only. Because in order to change a livery, even for one-off, you have to get the permission of all the teams. So that was never going to happen, that Mercedes was going to go red. So it's a nice little thing. They put the old logos on the side of the cars as well. That's pretty much as far as it's ever going to go. As there's Jack Doohan, and F2 driver, who is father, of course, Mick Doohan, MotoGP legend. And Jack was out in Formula 2 practice just a couple of hours ago, doing an extremely great job as all the drivers are nearly in the pit lane. Albon's on an out lap. Lawson's out there doing some runs as well, but they're the only two out there. So 2 cars out on the track, 18 in the pit lane as things stand as well. And all quiet here in the Ardennes Forest as well. And I remember Murray Walker once saying as well when he was here that he's sure he came over here in a tank during World War II. Paul's in the pits.
Option to look at top speed, but just have a look at the speed traps. I'm obviously not close enough to a camera, but it certainly looks like that's the plan at the moment.
So it looks like they're going to, Josh, it looks like they're going to take some winglet off and shave it a little bit and just see what they can do to maybe get some more drag the way of Ferrari, because they've just shaved off part of the top wing. So trying to reduce some drag and trying to reduce some speeds.
I have just had a look at changes to the circuit. Oh my word.
Oh yeah, Josh, do you remember what I told you about the Sky ID login? And you get all these screens and all the data's on. The Sky ID logins.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got Sky, haven't you? So like we've got on the iPad right now, you can have all the on-track data and everything. As live timing, by the way, is still not working, which is it's reminding me a bit of what was it? Imola. I think last year Imola, free practice 1, where the timings just didn't work. We didn't know who was fastest and who wasn't fastest for the entire first session. So that's something. Good to stand on the pit wall though to save us. Who's Rachel Brooks?
No,
you know me, good sir.
No, I didn't make any phone calls. I'm just sitting there seeing how it all pans out. Obviously, Danny just announced, I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago, that he was believing McLaren. So I didn't want to get involved in that one.
Would you be interested in taking him though?
I think in my position I have to speak with anybody. I haven't spoken with him, as I said, and, but let's see. I mean, first I think we wait until this weekend is over, and then that Danny gets over it and decides what he wants to do. I have no idea what he wants to do after this season.
So Gunther, in what you've sort of just said there, does that mean there is a spot, there is a seat at Haas for next season?
Yeah, there is a seat, but we don't know who to put in there. You know, in the moment, you've got a driver in there, and it could be that he stays in there, Johnny, you know?
Well, exactly, yeah. So he's on rocky ground at the moment.
I wouldn't say on rocky. I mean, we just need to look around to do the best for the team, and obviously Mick has done a good job in Canada, Silverstone, Austria, and now we've got a few more races here, and we just monitor how it is going, and then we will take our decisions.
Yeah, Gunther, it's Anthony here. I saw an article where you were saying that you can't deny the experience and its value in any team, including your own. Obviously, Daniel comes with a wealth of experience, but there are others out there as well. How do you measure that as a team? Are there metrics you look at when it comes to choosing drivers, or is it sort of like, just, I don't know, a bit more perception and gut feel?
Yeah, I would say percentage-wise is more perception and gut feel, and how what you want to do and why you think somebody is better suited than somebody else. You know, it's not only the driving, how the driver fits into the team, and you know, how he gets on with people, and it's a lot of elements which we need to consider. You know, but in the end, I would say it's more gut feel than matrices and mathematics.
Gunther, let's get back to on track this weekend then, because we know that your drivers both were saying towards the end of that first half of the season they wanted updates, upgrades and an update on the car. You've only brought a couple of bits this weekend. How are you feeling at the moment about the performance of the car and the development race as it stands at the moment?
I mean, it's too early to say how we feel this weekend. I mean, the first run, I mean, this year, in general, FP1 and FP2, we are normally nowhere, and then in FP3, we make a big step. But I want to see how it's going here. The upgrades we introduced in Hungary for Kevin, we looked at how they correlate to the wind tunnel results, and it was good. So I think I feel positive about it. I believe in them. How it will pan out here, where we will end up this weekend, I don't know yet, Rachel.
All right, great. Gunther, for the moment, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great Steiner there talking with Rachel Brooks and the Sky F1 team. We're on board with Carlos Sainz at the moment, going up through Eau Rouge into Ranigon and down the Kemmel Straight towards the Lacombe chicane. Over 200 miles an hour, 203, 204, no, Max is out at 203 miles an hour in that Ferrari before slamming on the brakes and sliding through. It's at this time that we're focusing on a driver who would like to introduce you to our new battle screen, but this is our new battle screen. As you can see, it's not working at the moment because the F1.com isn't working, and this will show the telemetry between the two drivers as well as the comm box and Josh down there at the bottom. So unfortunately, it's having a bit of a mare, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine for FP2, right when we don't need it because our other driver tracker will start working soon. But our main driver tracker will probably start working in a second anyway, so yeah. Apologies for the lag, but I hope that the team radio and the timings and the fact that we've got audio from the track now means that listening into the watch along and watching it is a little bit easier than before. Carlos Sainz, purple sector 2. He's done a 45.716. Alexander Albon is second. He's done a 148.112, and he's set the fastest first sector of anybody so far on the soft compound tyre. As Sainz comes up towards the line now, into the braking zone, flicks the car in. Very good through the bus stop. Nicely done. Second gear, now to third. DRS open across the line. Sainz goes top. 2/10 quicker than Verstappen. It's a 146.538 for Carlos Sainz. A very good lap there. But Albon, still the driver to beat as Russell goes third. Albon's looking quite quick. Where is he on the second sector? I'm trying to see him on the battle cameras. Can't see him on the iPads at the moment about where he is on the other screen. So we'll keep an eye out, but looking good. Albon's second sector time, I think he's backed off the lap. Yeah, he has, 47.028, so not good there. Oh look, it's the driver who's been let go by Mclaren a year earlier, it's Danny Ricardo. And for Josh, your thoughts on Ricardo as well? Has he performed as a driver? He had a flash in the pan result in Monza last year when he took victory. He was dominant that weekend, nobody could stop him. And I don't like people saying, oh, but we saw retirement from Hamilton Verstappen. Ricardo already had the lead then as well. Do you think as well that Ricardo deserves an F1 seat? I still think he does. Josh?
Yes, hello.
Sorry, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but cut out for some minute.
Oh, right. I said, yeah, what do you think about Ricardo? Do you think he deserves an F1 seat for next season? We've been talking about it on and off this week during this first session, but now we've got him on track. Do you think he'll do well this weekend? Because he's free now, effectively. He may drive for McLaren, but he's a free driver.
Yes, he is. And the thing about Haas, I think, is with all of their crashes, let's say.
Yes.
Can they afford Daniel Ricciardo if they keep crashing all the time?
I don't think they can afford Danny Rick, to be fair. I think Danny's a very large salary. Oh, the driver track is working.
Yes, he is.
Hey, the driver track is working. Yay!
Hey.
We got data. Let's take a look. This is on board with Albon into the braking zone for the Lacombe chicane. But yay, our driver track is working.
Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
That proporting effect looks absolutely horrible through that part of the track.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is what our timing screens will look like. By the fact that we can't get on the F1 app, so that Josh can put on the data screens with the race control messages. So he's got his Discord messages on. So you're not missing anything at the moment. But this is what it basically looked like from now on. Leclerc down the back straight away. Australia now says, I pick Ricardo to out-qualify Norris this weekend, now that the pressure is off. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Ricardo's going to start shining now. because he did that at Renault, didn't he? He said he's leaving Renault and was joining McLaren. That was right at the start of the season. And then Ricardo got 2 podiums that year. In where was it? First one was in it was Imola, and it was Nürburgring. So Imola and the Nürburgring. Tell you what F1 could do though, just for me, because this is the first time I've noticed it with headphones on. They could level all the audio so it's all level. Because when you go on the onboard, it jumps in volume massively, and you suddenly have to raise your voice a little bit. We've got a yellow flag out on the track, Josh. Someone's off somewhere. Can't tell. It could be Magnussen. He's stopped on the track.
Turn 1.
So Magnussen has stopped in sector 1. You can see him on the driver tracker. Now, has he stopped coming out the pit lane? Has he put it in the gravel? That would be something if he's gone in the gravel. Leclerc's coming to the line. They haven't red flagged it or virtual safety car. They've just got a yellow. Leclerc crosses the line now, goes second, 146.607. But what has happened to Kevin Magnussen? Is he in the gravel? We're on board with him now. Looking.
I didn't see anything.
He just stops. Look at that. He stopped.
Yeah.
Coming out the track on the run down, he stopped on red flag. So they've red flagged the session because Kevin Magnussen in the Haas has come to a stop at the exit of La Source and on the run down towards Eau Rouge. So the red flag is out. The session is now stopped, and all cars to return to the pit lane immediately. Well, that was anticlimactic as well, with 22 minutes of the session to go. They've stopped it. What do you think could have happened? That looks like it's just completely stopped, doesn't it?
I don't know, but Kevin Magnussen and Paul de Resta in the pit lane.
So the budget cap this year, how tight it is in the part rotation, especially second half of the year.
2 seconds, let's listen. We're on board with Magnussen to turn 1. Oh, it's gone. Let's listen.
A weakness within that wing, but you can even see
gearbox is gone. All right, Paul, thank you.
On top where they've kind of glued another bit on, and if you go over to the other wing, you can see there's none of the repair where it was in the other wing, but look, it's got the lovely top flap, so it's just in the rotation where it's all about, and you can see another little one just down there in the corner, and this is all the things that's going to make the difference if they want to challenge Red Bull. Can they get a nice fresh parts on to get the downforce, or can't they? But they've even got one there without the front wing bolted onto the nose. Is that your Spa special? They're going to try it later on the weekend, but it's just fascinating to see older bits in Formula 1, and even somebody trying to clear some pen flash up with a Sharpie pen. That's as far as the technology goes sometimes when you're trying to keep the weight down. But yeah, just walking them down.
Good for sustainability as well,
Absolutely.
Paul. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Let's hear from Magnussen.
Oh, engine is out.
Okay. Stop the car, Kev. Stop the car.
And that's it. So, engine's completely died.
What happened there? On the exit of turn 19. We're looking. Oh, engine is out.
Okay. Stop the car, Kev. Stop the car.
So, red flag. Session stopped as they are going to try and recover Kevin Magnussen as he's at the side of the road now, just in the old pit lane area. That's used for the Spa 24 hours. Go on, Josh. Can you hear me?
Only Kevin Magnussen could have... Yep.
Yes.
If only Kevin Magnussen could just... It broke a little bit earlier and just pulled into the support pit.
I know what you mean. Yeah, that is so unlucky. Guess what? I found the other timing screen. So that's handy. It's right at the top as well. So that's going to be good. But Magnussen's out and over the wall. Cars back in the pit lane. This shouldn't take too long then to restart before we get going again. Megan's has asked, what drink do I want? I'll have a Coke, please, Megan. If you're watching. She's going to bring it to me in the commentary box. If she spills it all over my notes, that's not great news, is it? But for Kevin Magnussen, scored only once here from 6 appearances at the Belgian Grand Prix. 4 points picked up back in 2018. I was in 8th place as well. He's failed to score only once in this Belgian Grand Prix, but that was back in 2016 when he crashed at the top of the hill at Radion as well. More grid penalties update. Norris, Ocon and Bottas, we knew about that as well. Yeah, we didn't, but Schumacher as well. Schumacher hasn't been confirmed yet. That still hasn't been done. He's been left off the list, but you are right. SHT, which is Norris, Ocon, Schumacher, Bottas will be starting from the back of the field with new engine components. Don't forget, Verstappen and Leclerc also have grid penalties, but we don't know how much they are. At the moment, we think it's a 10th-place grid penalty each, so it's going to be a fight from the back of the grid. But we saw Verstappen start from 10th in Hungary, spin, and still take the win. So anything can happen, Josh, in Formula 1, and it usually does.
Yes, anything can happen. As a red flag.
Yeah,
And,
just taking a look on the... We are on the onboard, but it's fixed to the main pictures now. And just taking a look as well. Charles Leclerc again having some more work done on his rear wing as well. So they're just be trying to fix that as well. I'm not sure who's in the commentary box for F1 TV this weekend. I understand it might be Will Buxton, because I think Ben Edwards is in the Silverstone Classic, so I think it's Will Buxton taking commentary for Spa this weekend as well. And I think next time out at Dutch Grand Prix it'll be Tom Gaymore. I think Ben's got it at the next race as well, coming through. But ultra low wings, of course, this weekend, Josh, for a low downforce circuit, and then Monza as well. Next in 2 weeks' time is when they've got to prep, because usually we go Spa to Monza, but now it's been interrupted by the Netherlands in the middle as well, which forms a very unusual triple header.
It really, really has. It's just so confusing. I'm just trying to figure out what we're going to do without Sebastian Vettel, let alone all the current 2022 calendar.
Keep Fernando Alonso, simple.
Yeah.
Oh, next year this looks insane. Don't forget also the new MotoGP sprint race as well, which
don't get me started on that, please.
We are covering that race live, by the way, the sprint race. So the sprint race will be covered live on the YouTube channel. So will qualifying. So it's going to get very difficult as well. We are actually recruiting a new, because Megan, of course, isn't going to be with us for next year because she's going university this time next year. So she's okay with the first half of the season, but the second half might get a bit more tricky. So we are actually recruiting, I say recruiting, we're looking at a backup commentator for whenever I'm not available, because Josh is with there. So it'll be a little bit all over the place coming through. Coming Magnussen now on a replay into the bus stop. Having a little bit of a lock up again and just taking a bit more exit curb as well.
Matthew Owens, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, it probably will be Matthew Owens, to be fair, who will step into the com box and take us for some. Maybe like it might be like F1 qualifyings and things like that. Like this year when I couldn't do Hungary qualifying, so Megan did it as well, or Azerbaijan, things like that. So yeah. Matthew Owens might be joining the commentary team on a permanent basis as well to take over. And I can think of nobody more experienced, to be fair. Edward Hunter's going to be taking over some Formula E stuff next year as well and joining us in the box as well. But we've got Ed, we've got Matt, we've got Matthew, we've got Seth, we've got Joe, we've got Adam, we've got loads of commentators, and of course Josh, yourself, if we can get you on a main broadcaster's lead com at one point as well, that'd be even better. As they come through and go on. What's taking so long with this Coke?
Yeah, this is Kevin Magnussen going through the bus stop. I believe this will be a replay, so sound on. And Audi have already made indirect comments about Mercedes.
Really?
Yes, apparently.
Oh, is that the rings of the new stars that we saw?
But here is Kevin Magnussen. It just dies.
Yeah, coming out of the corner. Completely goes off as well in the braking zone. I can hear Sky on the commentary because that isn't their main picture. That is... There we go. Now we're back with live pictures as Magnussen's car is still stuck down on the track here, Josh. Well, Megan, thank you. It took a long time. You've properly wrapped that up, haven't you?
Wakey, wakey, you've got a car to recover.
Yeah, so Magnussen's car's still stuck on the side of the track. Actually, while Megan's here, and I'm not going to ask her to do any commentary, but just pop here and listen to... Oh, well, Megan's actually... Oh, okay, well, Gunter might be able to tell us more.
What has gone wrong, and the car is not safe in the moment, so therefore the Earth engineer is out there trying to making it safe so you can touch the car and bring it back to the pits, but in the moment you can just touch the car with the big gloves and it's very difficult to load and not safe, so we just need to make sure that we make it safe and then they will load it up and bring it back, but we don't know yet what actually broke.
Gunther, how do you, as a team boss, how do you prepare the whole team? How, do you get a team of experts in? Because it's something, obviously, like I said before in commentary, you can't see when it goes wrong. So how do you prepare the whole team for this kind of scenario, both drivers and mechanics?
It's quite well prepared. I mean, the Earth people which look after the electrics on the car, the high voltage stuff, they know exactly what to do. You see, they try to make it safe now. They know what to do, and every guy, every person has got his speciality, and then he knows what to do. He looks at the data and then takes action. So that's what we always try to do. And the driver obviously was informed that the car was unsafe and that he needs to jump out and not. To jump out and not just to walk out, basically, not to make contact with the ground and the car. So it's all prepared, as you saw. It's very flawless, and obviously, yeah, we lost 7 minutes now, I think. But you just need to be safe here, because it is not. It could be dangerous if you touch the car.
You also, Gunther, I imagine, when the car gets lifted up like that, and you get that shot of the floor underneath. It's what all the teams are looking for, isn't it? They want to see what everyone else is doing.
Absolutely, but I think they look at it also when the car is on the ground, huh?
Yes, this is true. This is very true.
Yeah, and Gunther, just one thing for fans back at home. When do you have this high voltage problem? And if it is something that needs to be changed, is it a big job to change everything?
Yeah, I think we think it is the MGUK. I say I think it. I'm not an electrical guy, and especially sitting here, I don't know what it is, but that's what the guys normally say, and we had this issue before. So changing the MGUK, I think we can get it done for FP2, but it is quite a big job.
And Gunther, we're looking at Mick at the moment in the garage as well. We know that he's taken the control electronics unit and also a gearbox. Where are you expecting him to start? Is it just a 10-place penalty, or is it going to be more like the back of the grid for him?
I guess we'll end up at the back of the grid, Rachel.
Okay, all right. Well, the guys were saying earlier, it is a place, a track you can overtake on. So hopefully he'll make his way forward throughout that race, Gunther. It's going to be very busy at the back of the grid on Sunday, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Great, thanks very much, Gunther. Thank you.
Red flag, because Kevin Magnussen's car is live. And what that means is that you can't normally handle the car. You've got to use rubber gloves, you've got to use the pole, you've got to get everything, and more down in Alpine, unless we knock on with Paul.
They were changing with drive shaft related, so I believe the engine was okay for that. But you can see, just at the back of the shot there, you can see inside the gearbox and kind of in the adapter where all suspension sits. Unfortunately, it's just blocked. I had a great view of it a minute ago, but they leave the car very exposed, Alpine, down here where it is. Other thing I just want to go in on, we talk about ride quality and what the engineers have got. Well, they've got the ride height they can control through the push rod, but then on top of that damper you can see what looks like 3 kind of wire meshes, a bit what you would scrub your pots in your sink with, sitting there, and that's to do with the compliance. That's what the car essentially sits on when it's sitting at 325 kph on the straight, and says to the driver, yes, that's fine over the bump, or no, it's too stiff. And that's everything they're playing with, the control within that, to try and get the driver comfortable and get it through the corner. But just fascinating to see this car so exposed, but I would suspect with the drive shaft being back on, Esteban will be okay for the rest of the day when we get back into FP2.
Brilliant, thank you, Paul. So it looks like he's going to get through. The driver's now just waiting to get going. And Josh, this is something that we see quite a lot usually, isn't it? This procedure where the car's alive, you've got to do extremely difficult things, because we saw it back at Zandvoort last year with Vettel, and we lost half an hour of the session. And it looks like we're going to lose around about 25 now in the session.
Yeah, and it's not good when the car's alive, and that's why it's taking so long. So we've got our answer, and session will resume at 14:51, so in 1 minute.
And if you're wondering where Richie was, he just texted me as well, because we know his computer died. He says, managed to get the PC back on, but the data is saying my CPU is over 80 degrees, which is not good. Going to probably fetch some thermal paste and reapply. And I said, if not FP3, and he says, yeah, it would be nice, I'll let you know. So we won't have Richie, which is a shame, because I always like having Richie in the comms box. But Josh, as always, super subbing, and even though he's only meant to be in the pit lane for this one, and he's back in for co-coms, and that's 2 sessions back-to-back as well, because we did the Hungarian Grand Prix as co-com and lead com as well last time out as well. I don't know, everyone was raving about you, by the way. Everyone was really great and said, oh, wow, that's brilliant and all that. So you did fab in Hungary as a main analyst. That's what we call it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
12 seconds to go.
10. 9.
Should we, tell you what, should we listen to the cars? I think
Yes.
this should be fun. Let's listen up to the cars and listen to them all as the green light goes on and we're back racing. Let's listen. Are we going to see it? There they are in the background. Come on, show us the cars. Oh, FOM. Here we go. Well, FOM's been a bit of a thing there. Yeah, okay, that's a shame. I wanted to hear them all revving out the pit lane, but we're not going to get that.
Next time.
Oh, let's hear from Verstappen.
You can find performance.
And there is a risk of a shower.
Oh, great. That's all we need. Risk of a shower once again here at Spa as Verstappen head out. And you can see, actually, look at that. You can see the cloud coming in over the trees here in the woodland of the Ardennes Forest. It's coming through. So, 14-minute delay. We're back underway here at Spa-Francorchamps, and there's a shower coming in as well. Fabulous. Just what we need to see. It's been a long practice, this. It feels like it's 90 minutes. Go on.
That could be interesting for the Belgian F3 qualifying. Which is
yeah, that follows FP1, and this FP1 session has felt like it's gone on for an hour and a half, to be fair. I'm more worn out now than I would be after a normal session. It's gone on for so long up here as well as they come through, but risk of rain is increasing, and there's a shower coming in as well. I'm sure Josh is having a look. Oh, you see on the weather forecast?
Yeah.
Go on then. I'll tell you what. Can you? There we go. Look, and that's what's coming into the circuit.
Yeah.
Have I got that bigger map book thing? Here you go. Let's take a look at it then. Yeah, that's coming in big time. Big time coming in now as well on the weather.
It's not moved for the past hour though.
But has the wind speed increased somewhat, or is it still the same?
It's increased.
Right. Okay. So that's a big trouble then coming through as the cars.
My way.
Yeah, that'll be F3 quality then. So the cars all bunching back up with each other as well. We've got Verstappen, Leclerc, Albon in there too, all coming into the bus stop. They all want to be the first there. Nobody wants to give a tow down towards the Campbell Straight because this could be the last time of the session. It's 7 minutes for just one flying lap here as Verstappen sets off down towards turn number 1, hits the brakes, flicks the car in, looks okay to me, gets back on the power and immediately slows down. And so, science video. It's raining in 14. It's raining at Stavelot.
More rain coming in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think
so. It's raining down at Stavelot, and Verstappen sorted out that, so he's backed off for getting himself in the tow. But here comes the rain, Josh, with 6 minutes to go. They're all on slicks at Spa. This is like 2010 qualifying all over again.
Yeah. If I come on here, see that rain there?
Yes.
Focus on that, zoom in, and it's on the track.
Yes, it is. You're right. Yeah. So there we go. Rain coming then. We need to get you a weather radar for chat as well. Open up. I'll get that into the next session. As Verstappen's backed off then, knowing that he's going to have a penalty. Let's hear from Verstappen actually.
No tire temp.
That's because it's starting to rain. Yeah, no tire temp because it's starting to rain out there. Look at the tyres already coming down into Ravage and into Malmedy as well. The slicks are turning into water jets as they come through. So Verstappen, I think, might be done for the session as well. It looks like everybody might be a bit more in trouble than what we first thought, as it said it was raining hard at Stavelot. Perez is on a fast lap time as well. Who's at Stavelot? Everybody. Everybody's at Stavelot. That makes it so down there at the bottom of the hill. Lawson's through there. Sainz is through there. Russell's through there too. And it looks like it could be in for something. 5 minutes to go. And Perez a little bit wide there as well. Just having a little bit more of an off-track excursion today, it looks like, Josh. And I'm a bit nervous, actually. This is a bit weird at the moment, seeing this, because look how hard it's raining. It's raining really hard now at Stavelot. It's come down massively, and they're all on slicks at Stavelot. It always rains heavier at Stavelot, and Perez has to back up the lap massively. The rain is bucketing it down now here at Spa in the end of this first practice session, and they're all having to take it so carefully, and they're all coming into the pit lane as well. Everyone who went through Stavolo just a few moments ago has come in the pit. Latifi, Zhou, Norris, Alonso, Vettel, Ocon, Magnussen, Lawson, Bottas, all in the pit lane. Stroll and Albon in there too, and they're all crawling around there. It's dry in the first two sectors, and it's dry in the last sector. As soon as you hit Stavolo, it's water. This is the problem with a 7-kilometre track.
Yeah, that is... that was quite a surprise for all of the drivers coming round there, but that is around track sector 9, which is turn 8 and around there, which is, if we go on our track radar and I press that...
And I need to get you on a bigger screen, hang on. Let's go over to Battle Computer, and I can get Josh a bigger screen to operate as well, because otherwise it's just not fair. Because we need to see all the data that he's got out here.
The amount of data I have is insane, but that I believe will be the end of the track session, because they might go out just for 1 or 2 final laps. They probably will go out on the inters, maybe for a practice start, but then that will wreck the tyres everywhere where it is not wet. So around the back of the circuit, and look at it there, that is Lando Norris, Daniel Ricardo correction, and it's really raining it, and Daniel Ricciardo's already put the inters on.
Yeah, so he is doing exactly what you said, Josh. He's going to have that little run out there as well to see what it's like. Right, Josh, we've got your camera on with this weather forecast. Talk us through it.
Yep, so if I find the... No, it's not that one. No, it's not that one. That's the IndyCar screen.
There's the weather forecast. There we go. So what are we seeing?
Here's turn 8. And if we zoom out, look at it there, wow.
That's at Stavolo. It's raining really hard at Stavolo. I wonder if they might throw a red flag, actually, if it's too bad out there. Go on.
So if we just take turn 8 for an example.
Yeah, that's Malmedy.
Put the cursor out. Just keep zooming out. Keep zooming out.
And there's the rain. Yeah, the rain's right there on the circuit. You can see it coming in as well, can't you? Yeah. So there's the weather forecast. It's starting to rain heavily out there, and Daniel Ricciardo's not happy with the conditions. He's had a big moment coming through, came to Paul Frey as well, exit Stavolo. It's now raining really heavily, so this will be the F3 really exciting as well, but it's going to make everything else just a little bit more dramatic, because, well, I did turn that off, but I don't know why it's come back on now. There we go. Let's go return back to normal with 90 seconds left of the session. They might just run out the clock, I think, Josh, here. That's what they're going to do. They're going to let everything go down, and no point of a red flag, because a few of them have got out there on inters.
I love that runoff at the exit of the bus stop chicane.
Oh, no.
And here is going down into turn 8.
Slicks! And this is this is Ravage with a gravel trap there, and Leclerc nearly goes straight to the gravel trap, and he's on slick tyres. You were right, Josh. That's where the rains hit first, down at Malmedy and Ravage.
Clown Ferrari strikes again.
Lando's out there on inters. Just
that's literally just my new. That's literally whoa.
Yeah, that's really raining now down the Kemmel Straight, but it's just been announced that Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc will start the Belgian Grand Prix from the back of the grid. So, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon, Valtteri Bottas and Mick Schumacher will all start the race at the back of the grid. Basically, that is everybody from Q1. So the grid is going to look completely different, but the two championship rivals are starting this race at the back of the grid. Confirmed.
Are you ready? You thought 2021 was boring? Because it was. 2022, on the other hand, as the checkered flag is out and Leclerc is the first one to take it.
Look at the water into Puon. Wow, that's Lando. It's tricky on intermediates right now. Go on, Josh.
Yeah, and down, that is a lot of rain, and literally a click of the fingers and it can be absolutely pouring it down. Josh is like, imagine if we were just broadcasting the F3 qualifying. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag.
We would never get out of here.
Yep. But, I actually, right, yesterday or a couple of days ago, I just got a map of Belgium on Google Maps.
Yeah.
And I just zoomed in straight into the car. It was so satisfying.
Well, you've got a quick feature, haven't you, coming up as well there in our qualifying show, because there's no W Series this weekend. We thought there was, but there's no W Series. So we've got a big build-up to quali, half hour. And in that build-up, we've got your little segment on the good and bad crashes you could have at Eau Rouge, which is what you're going to send over as well. So we're going to
What's
get that
not
together.
to do
Yes.
at Eau Rouge and Radion. It's only a minute clip.
But we're going to have it on. We're going to have it on as well. And it's always a famous one.
I did try and record some stuff. And
I thought it was great.
I did try and record some stuff yesterday. But let's say I tried to record some stuff yesterday at like midnight to 1 a.m.
Not good. I
was up until 3. I was up until like 4 a.m. today.
Yeah, blimey.
Yeah, I cannot sleep currently. So
I don't blame you. I've been having that problem as well, as it comes through. But still, nearly there. Right, cars start on the track. Standing starts have been abandoned, by the way, we believe, due to the conditions. I don't think anybody's doing any standing starts on the grid at the moment. Fernando Alonso down in 14th position then. At the moment. Can you hear us, Josh? What's going on?
Yep, just got a notification that Grid Network's just gone live.
Oh, that will be for the Women in Motorsport as well, show as well. With the Daytona Xfinity Series, Natalie Decker not racing as well. You can tune into the Grid Network now as well. Josh, if you're very quick, can you get the link in for Grid Network to that video and put it in the chat? Because I implore you all, go and watch that as well with Joe Samaniego as well coming through as well. So, drivers all done. I think we're about to have the music, which I don't have to do. I'm so happy I don't have to do anything. I've been able to have my iPad on the pit lane channel, and because we don't need it, we don't need the F1 timing app. Or we might do, but I've got the message on the phone. Josh can tell us. It means I can finally flick between different camera angles up in the comms box, and I'm so happy about it. It's literally been a long time since we've had that feature, so it's all good now.
It's a busy couple of hours for me now.
Yes. Megan and me and Josh will be back at quarter to 4 for the next session, FP2.
Yeah,
that's
that is.
Yeah.
Because now we're coming off. Then I'm watching Formula 3. Then I've got a radio show 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Then I'm straight on to Formula 1. So busy couple of 3 hours for me and for you. Yeah. With Josh, Formula 3 and Formula 2 and Formula 1. Here are the results.
Indeed. And do we get to hear the blessed music? I hope so. Hey, this works. It's Carlos Sainz who ends the first practice session fastest. Charles Leclerc goes in second position. And Max Verstappen is in third. Fourth position on the board as well. George Russell, good session for him on the soft compound tyres. Only 8/10 back. Last driver, Lance Stroll, surprising everyone for Aston Martin going P5. Alexander Albon is 6th, Danny Ricardo goes 7th, Yuki Tsunoda is 8th, Lewis Hamilton 9th, Sergio Perez rounds out the top 10 for Red Bull as well. Several drivers still doing their outlaps and am doing practice starts on the grid. Nicholas Latifi 11th for Williams as well, Zhou Guanyu 12th, Lando Norris 13th, Fernando Alonso 14th, Sebastian Vettel 15th, Esteban Ocon 16th, Kevin Magnussen 17th, Mick Schumacher 18th, Liam Lawson 19th as well, and Valtteri Bottas in 20th. Just quick, Josh, moment of the session. Because Sky can start playing the music.
Moment of the session, probably the craziness, which was the last 5 to 10 minutes with all of the rain.
Yeah.
And really, really interesting F3 qualifying session. I think coming up in the chat. SHT Williams this time won't be starting last for once.
They're going to start high in about 13th and 14th position. It's going to be really, really exciting. Okay, thanks, Josh. Thanks to Richie as well for coming in and talking for a few minutes. Fortunately, his PC did crash. He's going to try and get us back tomorrow for FP3, but if not, you can go back and listen to myself and Richie commentate on last night's PSGL race as well from... Where were we last night? Monza as well. So that was a great, great race. One of the best races we've ever commentated on as well for esports. Me and Josh will be back later on. Thanks for your company here from Spa-Francorchamps. We started out dry, and now It's like a Vietnam flashback. The rain has hit the circuit, and we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen when FP2 returns later on. Thanks for your company, though. We'll see you later. Bye for now.